Hello, stream. Yeah, CEAL community. I was about to say stream team. Different stuff on my brain here. I am the Dragon Rider. Joining me today is Ansem. How's it going, buddy? How you feeling?
Well, I feel like I'm the beautiful co-host this time around.
This is so true, so true. We are going to be casting a Noxian quarterfinal match for you guys tonight. Stormriders versus the Wise Elm. So last time these two faced off, we were talking about this earlier, Ansem, that Stormriders actually 2-0'd the Wise Elm. So maybe this time around we'll see the Wise Elm's grudge match to hopefully redeem their honor from their last meetup.
Yeah, so from those of you who saw or just need a quick refresh, the Wise Elm had to fight tooth and nail to earn their spot in the playoffs. And not only did they do it, they got into the 5th seed out of 6 to play against arguably the easier of the quarterfinal matchups. Sorry, just how the numbers work. But have I got some secret strats from both teams for you guys tonight? Okay.
Oh yeah, let me hear it.
All right. So, we'll start with my first interviewee, the Stormriders. Okay. Their goal, their secret strat, is to win top down.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that they actually win from the top lane and then progress downwards? I don't know. That's not what they said. They said they win top down. That can mean that they just win every role.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
And
Heads to toe.
You've got the Wise Elm. Their secret strat
Mm-hmm.
is to not lose.
Oh, yes.
That's actually uncounterable. Like
Yeah.
you physically cannot lose now. Like if you do, then you're just liars.
Yeah, no, you can't
don't wanna be
lie to
liars.
us. No,
Like you wouldn't lie to the SEAL community.
the audacity. No, I feel like Alpha's team here is going to be from past experience with playing with them as well as watching their matches, I have a little bit more familiarity towards them. And so their top lane is definitely one of their better players, as their jungler is also very talented. So they're going to be our key players watching out for this match here as well. So when they go top down, I'm really hoping to see some carry picks topside and seeing them really transition down to like either some cheeky TP plays or even possibly some nice jungle mechanics that transition downwards into the mid lane and into the bot lane. I think everyone's slowly just getting in here now. They're going to be setting up our picks and bans here as well. But as for top bans that I'm probably going to see, definitely for the Stormriders, they're going to want to try and ban out the Scion, ban out that top laner, ban out that jungler. Kayn, this jungler, Alpha Pig, is really good on Kayn. So you really don't want him to take his comfort. He's also a pretty great Karthus player as well. As for the Wise Elm, are you a little bit more familiar with the Wise Elm? I've seen maybe a couple of their games. I know you casted one of their games previously.
I did, but all honestly, I casted so many games in the past couple of weeks, I don't remember. I apologize. So I'm pulling up just their last draft. So let me get the last ones at least. So the Wise Elm, they went with a more at least for top side, they went with more tanky, like the Gragas Poppy for top jungle, and Poppy again is really their comfort jungler, if I remember correctly. With Urgot being picked up in the top lane to play against an Alawi.
Oh.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, this was the game with like 70 kills, right? Like
yes, and also yes. So the idea was that they put they had to play against Imagine Tempest in their final week match, and Imagine Tempest actually pulled out Alawi top lane in both of their games. And Hyaris was like, okay, well, the first one, I just didn't know how good he actually was. The second one was like, yes, Urgot, that is it. That is the champion. And then he got smacked in lane. So it's like, well, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, so
Um,
definitely Alawi Ben, then probably topside if.
well,
Oh,
that was if he played Imagine Tempest. He's not playing against them today.
oh, yes.
So looking back on this particular matchup, let me see. This was week 1. No, week 2.
Yeah, I mean another big pick as well is that Urgot pick. If you did they play Urgot in the Imagine Tempest game or
Yes. So Hyare the top laner for uh the Y Zone. Or sorry, am I
was it the other way around or
No. It was the Y Zone played Urgot into the Alawi.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if the Wyzom played Urgot into Alawi, Urgot is a very popularized pick probably in this match as well because I know that both top laners have been practicing that pick previously. So maybe it gets banned out first rotation, maybe it doesn't, and maybe it gets picked up first rotation. That'll be an interesting one to see how they play that one out. Yeah, they're just slowly getting some players in the lobby here. I'm trying to get that all sorted out. But as for like say our bot lane and our mid lane picks, what did they end up picking in those other ones here?
So specifically in the matchup here that we have tonight, so we're recreating the lobby because there is an issue with the client. Thank you, Brett. So the Wise Elm picked from top bottom Shen, Hecarim, Victor, Draven, Leona. So a very good front to back comp versus Stormriders. I would assume top to bot. Urgot, Viego, Vel'Koz, Jhin, Morgana.
That's another big pick. I just remembered the Viego pick. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very big pick for them. So Hyaris has played Urgot before. It wasn't just like a spur of the moment kind of a thing. And he played it both games as well. So, yeah, I'm looking at this and it kind of feels like I'm looking at these comps from their matchup that they had. This was week 5. So
week 5, okay. Was that which patch was that?
3 weeks ago.
Was it the same patch that we're on now, or is it a different patch?
No, that was 3 weeks ago. So that was we're on 12.5, so this was 12.3, I guess.
12.3, 12.4, something like that.
Yeah, I would say 12.3.
So probably what's their mid laner play again for the Y Zone? What did they play?
The Y Zone looks to play mages.
Mages. Like. So Ari's probably going to be a big pick here. She's been pretty popularized the last couple.
I say mage. I say Victor. Annie.
Victor's nice.
Victor's nice. I like that. It scales.
Yeah. They've almost got all the pieces of Exodia for this match here. He's not getting the invite. Might need to restart his client. We're having trouble getting one player into the lobby here.
Hi guys.
He's doing his best. He's trying his hardest. He's here, like he's online. Rito's not letting him join. I guess we make lobby again.
Wait a minute.
Do we all?
Let me see something.
What are you thinking?
Okay, no, I was thinking, wait a minute, this is a tournament draft. What if he can't join because his account doesn't have enough champions?
Oh, wait. Is that a thing?
He does.
It's a custom.
Yes,
it's a custom.
Well, the thing is, at tournament drafts, you're required to have at minimum 20 champions, 10 for bans, 10 for
Oh.
bigs.
There's no way they have less than 20
But he's still,
champions.
but he is ranked, so that is impossible.
Yeah,
He actually,
maybe if he makes a lobby, it might be a little different.
we have the password.
Yes. Every time when I played in CEAL, I always made my password egg. It was great. I never needed to use it, but it was just something that made me laugh. I just like playing Jax a lot, so I'm like, ah, yes, every password is now egg. Jax is actually getting a buff in the next patch. I'm excited about that.
That's disgusting.
The helicopter returns.
He does not need to. He needs to stay right where he is.
Well, what's currently right now? Camille top, Fiora top. Oh, okay. Your boy Bakago made a draft lobby. Let's try and get them over here. Okay, so they are in this lobby. Okay.
I invited.
Oh, you got them? Yeah, Valentina.
I had one of them.
Yeah, I have Alpha Y and Alpha Pig, but they're still in the other lobby. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I just.
Oh, okay. Okay. The chat's bugged for me. I can't see chat.
Yeah.
This is it's a curse. It's a curse. Oh yeah, in the chat they're saying more Hullbreaker champs, please. Is Yorick? I mean,
no.
Yorick's a great pick for Hullbreaker.
Hullbreaker champion.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really like to fight outside of his lane, so
I only seen Yorick a couple times. In more of a competitive scene, it's hard to play around and play against because if he falls behind in lane, it's really hard on a competitive level to get him, in a state of to be as big of a menace as he normally is.
Yeah, because like he's really good in a 1v1 scenario, which you see like those one-trick champion players that pick stuff like the Kled or other weird stuff that you might not ordinarily see. But that's just because of them knowing the matchup better than you because they play the weird stuff. Like Olaf top lane into Camille.
Yeah. I feel like mid lane has been in a state where it's just like there's 3 champions to play, and that's like Ahri, that is a Victor, and that's Corki. Is Corki still good? Did he get nerfed yet?
Corki's still fine.
Corki's fine.
He has been nerfed. The biggest nerf was the package timer.
Yeah.
He should have gotten a better nerf to his rockets, but it's whatever, I guess.
I know that Faker's been playing Kai'Sa. I'm curious to see if they're gonna pull out Kai'Sa here as possibly a flex pick.
Kai'Sa is a very good champion. It's a hit, as you would assume, a literal hit or miss champion. Considering that we've played it in ARAMs, people don't even try to deny it.
I have that song stuck in my head now.
With or against it. So if you hit your W, your W's cooldown goes down by 70%, whereas if you miss, you're going to have to wait a good 11, 12 seconds for it to come back up, even after it's maxed out.
AP Kai'Sa just does way too much damage with her W, though. Like, it's insane. Like, taking about, like, at least 25% every time on almost every champion that isn't a tank. Sometimes even more. I've seen a Kai'Sa just 2-shot people with a W that she's not even on the same screen as the champion that she shoots at. It's crazy. I think they're going to be getting into picks and bans here. I do have the spectator link. I'm just kind of waiting.
Yep.
I'll actually transition us over into that now while we get everything loaded up here.
Do we have logos for these teams?
We do. I actually really like the design for the Wisehome's logo is really nice. It's it's very like it's cinematic. It has like this like nice key frame inside of it with like a person. It's really well done actually. And then I also really like the counterpart of the Stormriders logo. They've been in the CEAL for a little while now actually, and I've faced against them in previous seasons as well. And I think theirs is just like an anteater T-posing on you. It's hilarious.
Did you know that this Sunday, Seal will have technically been in operation for 3 years?
3 years.
March 27th, 2019 is when the Seal server was created.
Wow.
I know this because in the new members tab, I pinned when I first created it.
3 years. That's great. I
So
still remember. I joined when I think Sunny was stream team lead, so that was like I forget 4 seasons ago.
three
Some
or
yeah, something
yeah,
like that.
4 seasons ago.
About four
I
seasons.
think that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, like season 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We're season 8.
Yeah.
By the way, if you have not checked out yet, the Ionian and Shuriman Division Finals have already been casted. I do not know if they have been put to YouTube yet. While we are still waiting, I will go and check.
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta. We gotta put those over to the YouTube, and then I can make us a nice little hype video for us. I'm curious. Oh, there we go. Okay, it has started. Okay, yeah. First round rotation. There's the Urgot ban. Figured that one would go into an Oriana Leo ban, into a Morgana ban. Yeah, that's mid lane's definitely being banned out here. So the Wisehome's mid laner seems to be more of a worry for them. Karthus being banned out as well. For the Wisehome, they're banning out their top laner, their support, and their jungler. So they're kind of spacing out their bans first rotation. Poopy. I think that's going to be jungle.
This is jungle.
That's a jungle. Yeah, I think Alpha doesn't usually play Poppy too much. Probably has a little practice on it. Yeah, Alpha Y has a pretty nice champion pool. You can kind of go with the flow, try different things, but he mainly focuses on a more tank side of playstyle, top side. So we might possibly see a Scion pickup for the Stormriders, but Trundle coming in, that's a good answer to Poppy.
That's just to steal all of her stats, because if he uses it when she's low, then she gets the bonus armor and MR because she's below 40%. He would gain that value.
Wow, yeah. And Blitzcrank. That does, I think the Stormriders just pick up Vel'Koz, play it support, because if we just poke out the Blitzcrank, I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
Brujo is really good on Vel'Koz here, so.
So I highly wink recommend it. Lethal Tempo Blitzcrank. You look at my match history, I won with that.
No, you didn't. No way.
I actually won with that.
Oh my god. Was it an ARAM?
No. No, it was a ranked game.
Why?
And I was support, and I was upset because it did not swap from my 80 carry room page.
No way.
And I won, and I actually got it to proc. I had like 60 extra damage with it.
That was wonderful.
But as we are here, we do have Set coming out for I would assume the top lane, and a brand support. Similar vibes to the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, same idea. You just poke out the Blitzcrank. Don't get hit by the pull. I don't think it's a mid laner. I don't think Valentino plays brand. That's a Trundle top. Okay. Or is it Sejuani mid?
I actually... why are you doing this to me? You know what? This is noxious. Who knows?
Anything could happen.
The only thing we
honestly
know is
anything.
that Poppy is jungle and that Blitzcrank is support so far.
Yeah.
We assume that the set is top lane.
I think, yeah, Alpha Y plays a lot of sets, so I'm going to assume set is top.
So we're at 50% so far. That's okay, I guess.
It's kind of average.
I'll accept it.
Yeah. Oh, they're banning. Is that why
Ooh.
is Shen?
What if
That's an
wait,
interesting ban. I don't know why
are they
you'd
thinking
ban.
that actually is are they actually thinking that that's Sejuani's mid lane?
Maybe.
No, because now they
No,
banned
because of
Vex,
end
so
of
now they
X.
definitely not. Now they definitely don't. Okay. So
Okay.
you're just banning it just for
Maybe
the memes,
they
I
were
guess.
just guessing. Like, it could be, it could not be. Let's kind of ban out both anyways, see what they do.
I want one of these teams to just spell out TSMXD. One
TSMXD.
of these teams.
You know
I
what?
don't care who it is.
Ooh, Kaisa. That's that. Okay, I don't like this. It could be Kaisa mid.
No, that's a Kaisei carry.
You think?
Yeah, no, they're putting Trundle top lane into the set.
Hmm.
Because he can match the regeneration of the set. Sejuani at the jungle. It kind of sucks into Poppy, but it's the best thing.
Victor's being picked up here. Probably just as a
Yeah, that's
counter
gonna
to
go to
their mid
mid.
laner. Yeah, and that kind of
Very
evens out like
safe
scaling.
scaling mid laning.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get to see our ADC. I'm gonna guess Ezreal. Pretty safe. Pretty good against a Blitzcrank.
Nah, here do Sivir.
Sever? It's banned. They can't.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Oh,
they
that's
banned
right.
Ezreal too. Oh no. Wait a minute.
I was thinking Sivir because she's just so safe into what they already have that no matter what, like, okay, you have to go for the brand, and the brand just either kills you or deals enough damage to where the Sivir cleans up. But Misfortune works too, you know.
Yeah.
And would you look at that? It's an Annie mid lane.
Annie mid. Yeah.
So we actually, I think I said this before. We had this matchup before.
I think the one difference is the Urgot's not
No,
topside, right?
it was Malphite mid lane into the Annie, with
Oh.
Urgot in the top lane. So
Yeah.
both of these players have played into their particular champion, because in the first game it was the Victor. I didn't see what the other one was. So
now they're going to be going into our client picks and bans here soon here. But as for just overall kind of picks and plays for both teams here, I like the early game and mid game for the Wyzelm. But I'm favoring, if this game goes on for like 30 plus minutes, the scaling from Stormriders might be the downfall to the Wyzelm here. So depending on what Kaisa builds, I know Sejuani falls off pretty hard late game. Trundle kind of falls off as well. Annie's about average, and so they don't really have a lot of heavy scaling champions. So if Stormriders play this early game like safe and stay back and maybe grab a pick here or two, they should be able to clean this one out. But with that being said, there's something to be said if the snowball potential happens for the Y Zone, right? So Sejuani's a really great jungler to go around, help out. The Trundle especially would be really good to gank on. Set doesn't have a lot of great escapes early, so I can see them bullying the top side a little bit and letting bot side kind of do their own thing, play safe, play back, and let the Trundle come down and rain terror in the mid lane and rain terror in the bot lane. So both teams, I think, are playing a lot more top focused, and junglers should be pathing towards that. And yes, sorry, pro here. It is going to be a best of 3.
Yeah, so all playoff matches, unless otherwise decided, would be best of threes, and the only time we would have a best of 5 is during finals. So
Mm-hmm.
we're probably going to have best of threes for all of the remaining playoffs, just because it takes a lot of time for scheduling the best of fives. I've been in several of them in our league back at the beginning of our time here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God, I hated scheduling those.
They're long. They're
They're
long.
so long. Like the first one I was in back in season 1, um, it started at like 8, 9 o'clock, and it went on until after 1:30.
Oh my
It
word.
went through all 5 games.
No. Oh no.
That's also the joke that I have. Um, Before that, I went through like 17 different tournaments
Mm-hmm.
since season 3. This was season 9.
Yeah.
That was the first tournament I won ever, and it was in the best of 5.
Let's go. That's big.
My
So,
current record is like 2-19 for winning tournaments. Actually, getting first place, it sucks so bad. I'm decent enough to be like a top 2, not actually good enough to actually win.
mm-hmm. Oh, hey, look. Senpai Omega came in to wish Yzone good luck. Thanks, Senpai. So we got a
He just
3-minute
wanted.
delay
He
here.
just wants. He just
Mhm.
wants you to know that Senpai noticed you.
Senpai did notice you. Yzone can't. They can't mess up now. Yeah, but I'm thinking. I don't know. We might see some level 1 shenanigans from Rio of the Wildfire on Blitzcrank. Possibly will help them into a snowball effect if it goes well for them. But as for Stormriders, I'm not sure if they really want to do anything level 1 related. Set's fine, but things can go south fast for them. What do you think about that? Actually, I'm thinking 5 point for Stormriders. Why some do something cheeky?
Um, I don't think they really need to. Like, the most cheeky thing that I would like to see Wyzom do is just have Blitzcrank, just hook over the wall for the red buff just to delay the jungler. Like, that's the most cheeky thing I would actually want to see.
Hmm.
Um, their red side. There. You know what? Actually, expect that they're going to expect an invade. So instead of actually having everybody walk into the bush, the banana bush for behind red buff,
Hmm.
everybody knows the one I'm talking about. Um, Instead, go to the pixel bush and just hook into the banana bush. Like, you're going to get somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, this is what I actually started doing as Blitzcrank, especially when I'm on blue side, where like I'll go as if I'm walking towards the bush, but then when I'm just enough in range, I'll hook somebody. Because everybody thinks, oh, he's just going to walk in like a dumbass. It's like, nah, get over here. And then they flash, or we get a kill.
The cheeky Blitzcrank plays.
That, and I will hook a buff over the wall, um, just to delay the jungler, even for like those few seconds for it to wrap back around. I will do that.
I mean, it makes
Like
sense,
I
especially in this situation with Sejuani versus Poppy. I don't know how fast Poppy clear is, but I know
Poppy
Sejuani's
like
clear isn't that fast either. So gives her time
Se-
to put her feet on the ground and gets going as well.
Sejuani's is a lot faster because Sejuani has multiple AoE abilities, whereas Poppy only has her Q,
Hmm.
and the Q is about as long of a cooldown as Sejuani's Q.
Oh.
At least in the first like 3 upgrades of it, I think. Afterwards,
Hmm.
I think Poppy's is faster.
Yeah. So you're thinking? I mean, if I was Poppy, I'd be going red to blue Gromp and then immediately ganking top. But
Yeah,
they might just
like
do
Truggle literally gives you a pillar for you to smack him with. So,
right. Okay,
so just
so our everything should be loading up here now. So
all right, chat. Who do you think is going to win? Stormriders on the blue side or the Wise Elm on the red side?
Let's transition us and we'll get to look at these skins. I'm gonna check this out. Okay, Ansem. Who won the skin war?
Uh, I like reds. They actually have a theme of white.
Ah, yes. I guess Trundle didn't have the white skin. He's just like, all right, I'll go.
White.
It's like blue white, yeah.
Fur. He has white fur just below his neck, and then he is in the mountains. Same with Sejuani.
Yes.
It's Russian.
It's Russian. The anti-snow. Yeah, I like it. They got this synergy going on over there.
Yeah, as we have found out, the Russian military is actually not as threatening as we thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
Just their leader is a psychopath.
Unfortunate. Hopefully this Oh no! Quick, we gotta go back. I gotta get it's bugged for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me get out of here. I think if we do it fast enough, we won't miss the level 1. Quick. Ah. Alright. I have Alpha on my friends list. I'm going over to spectate him.
Sing.
Alright, let's try it again.
God damn it, League of Legends.
Gotta love.
Riot Games, please fix your client. Alright, I'm in and it's still...
Oh, okay, I just got the 1 second. Yeah. Alright.
Alright, I'll pause at 15.
I can pause it at 10 if you're good.
No, I'm already past at 15.
Oh, okay, I'll go to 15 too. Alright, I paused it at 15. 1 second. I need to put their logos up here.
Press the B button.
I got it. Alright. Alright, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, on 3.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
And here we go.
I'm happy we didn't miss the level 1. Gotta love Riot Client.
Oh my god, they're actually just going standard 5-point.
Ooh, is Blitzcrank gonna do the cheeky plays? Oh, they warded it out before Blitzcrank could actually even get there.
I mean, that's fine. You still go. Okay, I guess Poppy's just starting blue buff.
Maybe
no, she's just going. No, she's just going to swap. Right?
Is she?
No, she is going.
She is going blue. Sets in position to.
That's weird.
Leash. Maybe.
That's so weird.
Maybe they have confidence that Alpha is going to win hard by himself against a Trundle. Which is possible.
I mean, yeah, but like, you need as much fast wave clear as you can get, and red buff gives that to you as Poppy. Blue buff doesn't.
I think the red team wants to go into the base.
Yeah, that is their goal. They are going there.
They're going to say the strat works, you know. They just don't lose if they kill the Nexus.
Yeah, I mean,
bing, bing, bing. All right, so opposite side jungling. Actually, that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out. I'm favoring Sejuani to gank top side. Then maybe Poppy's going to be looking for early dragons. Or even another clear that you can do is blue buff, Gromp, and Wolves to top side. So
we have a fight happening up here in the top lane. Conqueror stacks on both. Trundle's kind of winning out on these because, you know, the set uses W very early before he had any damage or shield to really stop the Trundle from hitting him.
I don't think Set has W yet. Now he does.
Yeah, no, he took his E.
No, oh no, he took Q here. He doesn't have W. Oh, he does have W. Okay. Yeah. W going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, Annie actually rotating and putting a ward down on blue buff, so we have pick and knowledge of where that Poppy is.
Yeah, the Victor thinks that he put the ward in the pixel bush. So very good job for Annie to know exactly that Poppy is over there. But they're mistracking him because they didn't see that Poppy already aggroed blue and pulled it into the bush, so they don't know where she's going. They think that she's at wolves.
Yeah. And so it looks like Poppy's going to be doing a full clear. Now, I don't know much about Poppy Jungle, but I don't... Does it spike at level 6? Or does it spike like it has to be like a early game?
It's item spikes. So it'll be going for Divine Sunderer, as you see with the Conqueror.
Yeah.
I've seen Eclipse as well, but it's going to be Divine Sunderer more likely. He needs to be able to get through these tanks. It's not a tank Poppy in the slightest. It may get some tanky items like what you would see in a Renekton or a Darius, like Sterix or Death's Dance, but not like Frozen Heart or Force of Nature. You won't see those kinds of items.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, big damage.
That's big trade
damage.
top.
Oh, but Poppy's going in onto the Sejuani. Sejuani is probably going to have to flash soon. Meanwhile, we have another fight happening on into the mid lane. Poppy is charging into the Sejuani, but Sejuani will be able to escape before the Poppy gets her last little bit of damage out.
That's close. I honestly thought that was going to be first blood.
I think Poppy flash queued. Oh, but first blood happens in the top lane. Alpha Y punching this troll in the mouth.
Yeah, 1-2 combo from the set was able to poke down the Trundle early. He got that early trade, but with the base health regen coming in from set, he was able to heal back up, keep on par with the Trundle, and then actually get a lead to punish him underneath his own tower, which is big.
I hate this as Blitzcrank because like you want to go in, but you're so afraid because here comes the Poppy. Blitzcrank, you're going to die now, my guy. Oh, but he actually got the flash off before Poppy could get her charge off. Meanwhile, double stun happening into the mid lane. Trade to about 30% HP.
All these trades are so close. And the Poppy gank was almost successful, but the E didn't go off before the flash. And so just really unfortunate there.
She lost vision of the Blitzcrank as he went into the bush, so she couldn't get her E off. And kind of like a panic, the Kai'Sa used her heal as well to make sure Blitzcrank was safe. Went a little in, and he didn't even take Hex Flash as a Blitzcrank. Are you even playing Blitzcrank without Hex Flash? I don't think you are. Meanwhile, we have another fight happening top lane because Seth just likes to punch everything and everyone. Blitzcrank go with the hook, and he lands it onto the Misfortune. Now we got the Ignite going off, and Kai'Sa is doing everything that she can. Meanwhile, we have the Flash coming out, and Misfortune chugging those potions to barely keep herself alive.
No way, she lives.
Kai'Sa needed one auto. Literally an auto. Meanwhile, Poppy is going to be charging in to try to get the Annie down here, but will be going down to the Victor as Poppy is just a little too split.
Rio's hooks have been very good here. Like, he's getting in a good position, getting way, like, in the way where the MF is unable to really CS properly, so...
Like, I get press the attack, but I just love comment on MF so much better. It just feels like a better rune. Especially because then you have access to mana flow band while you're poking them with your E. Because since the nerfs last year with Misfortune, having that extra mana is so nice.
Yeah, that's true. This set top lane is going to be a little bit of a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Yeah. But Trundle's level 6 now, so maybe we might see a Sejuani gank into a potential return pick for the Trundle, but he's fallen down quite a bit of CS.
Annie's in trouble. She's going to have to charge as much damage as she can. She doesn't have the timber, so Poppy will flash over to make sure that they get into the Annie, and Annie is killed thanks to the buckler.
Nice job by the Poppy, getting a good read with the flash and bringing the Annie back into position where the Victor wasn't able actually to get the kill. I was just double checking that. The Poppy got the kill.
Tapping onto the Poppy. Poppy will be going down very quickly to this Kai'Sa, getting her first kill of the game.
What a great read by the Blitzcrank and Kaisa, really coming in, and that's going to lead to their first dragon of the game here. I don't think there's any much contention for the bot side.
Oh,
So the worst thing
trying to look.
Yeah.
Miss Fortune doesn't have her ultimate, neither does Brand, so at best they can throw, like a Q or an E and just hope for the best. But they don't even try. First Drake goes over. And we've got an Ocean. I believe that this is a Hex Soul.
Hexel. I know last time you had a thing where it's like the terrain was different.
Yeah.
Set. Oh no.
Set taking a couple of tower shots. Meanwhile, Trundle using his ultimate, actually getting the flash out from both of them. Set will be able to run away. Neither of them have their boots. But Trundle is trying, but he can't get the last dot.
No mana for Pillar! That's so tragic! That's so tragic!
Remember, kids, this is why you take Presence of Mind.
Oh, if he had that mana, oh, that would have been so good for him!
Oh, you're just like, oh, well, I guess I died then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, now... Oh, Blitzcrank, meanwhile, tries to land a hook onto the Brand. Brand uses his E, but will not be able to get the stun, and will be able to walk away. And despite all of this action so far, it's only a couple hundred gold difference.
Yeah, both teams are relatively close. One thing happens across the map, another person does something else to counteract that. I love the playstyles of both these teams. Playoffs are a little bit different between like regular season games. There's a lot more, for me personally, they're a lot more stressful and anything can happen. It didn't matter what your standing are beforehand.
Everybody can lose.
Exactly. So both teams, especially in the finals, it just gets... the nerves can hit you, so...
Yeah, so, to kind of badger myself a little bit, last season in Season 7, I think my team was in the Piltover division.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold up. We're being sneaky, but Blitzcrank misses! And gets the Q off onto nothing but a minion. Now he's going to flash forward onto the Brand. Meanwhile, the Brand will have to flash out himself, and all summoners are down for the Blitzcrank. Brand still has his exhaust available, and they will be retreating their supports to fight at another time. Blitzcrank, you waited for the perfect moment too long.
Yeah, the dynamic camera really looking at them at a very long time. It was just
we all knew it was about to happen.
Yeah,
it's just how and when.
The dynamic camera was just sitting there too. Didn't even look at any other lane. Just the Kaisa and the Blitzcrank in a bush.
The Blitzcrank is literally breathing down the neck of this misfortune in the bush, and it's just like, are you going to do something? Are you AFK? Are you there, my guy? Hello? Hello?
That play there, if Brujo stayed a little bit longer, he may have been able to turn the tides and actually get the kill onto the Blitzcrank. I think Blitzcrank's all of his cooldowns were down, so they may have been able to turn that. But it's hard to say.
Oh, but Misfortune definitely overstayed her welcome. Does get a flash out from the Misfortune thanks to Blitzcrank. Meanwhile, we have the engagement happening onto the Set here. Set does get his ultimate off onto the Sejuani. Sejuani is getting a little low, but is trying to give the kill off to the Trundle, but decides, you know what, my life is more important than your kill. It goes to me.
Yeah, getting a big win in the top side there with that Sejuani gank, and then following that up with the Rift Herald take here, that's going to be big for them, especially before the 14-minute mark. You're going to let your 2 carries possibly even bring that bot side, get some gold in your team's pocket, and that's going to be really helpful for them later on in the game.
Oh, Blitzcrank is looking here. Isn't able to get it thanks to the minions, though. Meanwhile, we do have Victor up in the top lane after red side does pick up the Rift Herald.
Mm-hmm. What's hard for the Stormriders here is that they staggered the support and ADC's back timing. So when Misfortune was alone, the Brand was just vulnerable. Yeah, Brand was at base coming back, so a little bit of an overextension. But also, if they don't push that in, Misfortune's gonna have they can freeze that. So maybe a miscommunication on that team side there.
Yeah, so there are reasons why you would have staggered backs to change where you're sending the support, so that way they don't know. So that way you can create a man disadvantage when they're not expecting it. But when you're just doing it just for them to go back to the same lane, it creates a situation where whoever was left is actually out to dry and then has to forego everything to the opposing team because they know that they're outnumbered.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, the MF actually lived in all those altercations, so low kill game right now.
Thank you.
And
They said Stormriders gave me a guarantee that it would be low for the first 15 minutes.
oh,
Oh, but we have Blitzcrank looking to get a hook, but doesn't actually get it. I've got that feeling that Misfortune is going to get a Gale Force. I don't know why.
I'm gonna zoom this out because there's gonna be a dragon fight happening soon, and here it goes.
Two fights happening in both the bot and the top lane. Kaisa having to flash out from the Misfortune ultimate. Blitzcrank goes forward. Meanwhile, Kaisa going right back in with her ultimate. Gets dropped thanks to the Brand ultimate and the Poppy doing enough damage with her components for the Sunderer. Brand suns up the Sejuani long enough to where she has to flash forward and get her W off, but actually doesn't. Now with the red smite coming out, she's trying to get what damage left remained. Blitzcrank here is looking for the last hook to get onto the Brand, but Poppy and Brand will both be able to escape. We have Victor collapse onto the tri-buff here. He will not be able to get his ultimate off, but will instead just use his E. Meanwhile, in top lane, we still have both of these fighters going at each other's throats. Meanwhile, Trundle does not have his ultimate because he used it. Meanwhile, Set still does. Meanwhile, Victor here looking for the solo kill onto the Annie. Annie flashes just far enough, or has gone just far enough forward. But Victor, even with his flash, will not be able to get the kill. All in all, a 2 for 1.
It's not 15 minutes yet. Not enough. They had to wait off. They're like, oh, they checked the timers. But, oh my word. Poppy with the happy feet in there. Living just barely.
Brand got the perfect stun off onto the Sejuani. If he didn't, then she dies.
Yeah, no one was able to take dragons. Everything was staggered. It was such a close team fight there. Both teams coming out basically even in that trade. The gold advantage only slightly leading over to Stormriders right now, just due to CS advantages.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Yeah, this game can go either way. But what I'm worried about for the Wiseelm here is the scaling potential.
Oh, Blitzcrank's looking. Blitzcrank's look.
But look at Poppy.
But Poppy's right behind him. They already know Poppy is going to find one of them. She goes onto the Kaisa. Kaisa doesn't have her ultimate quite yet, but Poppy has the components for the Divine Thunder and just blows up, basically, this Kaisa. Doesn't even have a chance. Meanwhile, Annie trying to engage from the other side, but Poppy will use her W to try to catch up to the Annie. Annie will be stunned up, and now Poppy will be claiming that kill too, thanks to the help of the Misfortune ultimate.
Wow, 2 kills for the Stormriders. We have
another fight happening in the top lane. Trundle actually uses his flash to dodge the W from the Set, and Set will use his flash. Why did you use yours to dodge nothing? Meanwhile, Sejuani is getting hit up by this Victor, does get stunned up, does get hit up by a little bit of damage, but she has some tankiness on her side with a tier. What is that tier? What?
She's gonna be going into.
I know, but like, what?
It's if the game goes on for 30 minutes.
Hey,
fine.
Chad, would you like to have a bet on whether or not they finish the item?
It's fine. I think it's fine.
If you're here, I hope you're here, Shadow.
Uh-oh, here we go.
But the Victor does get hit up by the Sejuani's nice charge of the ultimate. Will be claiming that kill away from the Annie, despite her using her own ultimate. Shame. For shame. But that means she can just get to her tier item that much faster, right?
This is facts. Oh!
Brand does get hit by the hook. Blitzcrank does not have any more forms of crowd control. Will be hit up by every bit of the ultimate, but will be going down to the Brand's ultimate. Now we're having a fight up here into the top lane with the Trundle and the Poppy. Poppy doesn't have her Divine Thunder just yet, but Trundle has his Hull Breaker.
Yeah, Poppy getting close.
Junglers and mid laners are converging onto this. Trundle does not have his ultimate yet. Set still does from the last fight. Poppy using her ultimate to get away the top and jungle, and Annie, a little too late to the party here on this one.
Now I'm curious. No, I was thinking about the interaction with the Set R with the Poppy R. I was wondering if you could set flying as well, but I don't think he goes with the enemy team. I think he just goes in that line. Yeah.
Yeah, he just goes in that line.
It would be really funny if he did, though. Ooh, maybe an overextension from MF here? No, she reads it and backs off.
She has enough movement speed. she actually did the smarter thing and actually got tier 2 boots.
Mm-hmm.
I even in Platinum, I've had so many misfortunes. I'm a support man. I've had so many misfortunes try to explain to me why they don't even need boots or why tier 2 is too expensive of a boot for misfortune. I've had these arguments.
Fight topside.
Meanwhile, Sejuani with the nice ultimate again on set. Set to have his ultimate again, but they are dropping him very low. We do have Sejuani trying to tank up as much as he can, but will not be able to take him down. But the Blitzcrank lands a nice hit onto the Misfortune. Kaisa does go forward.
No.
Actually gets pushed back under tower and will be tanking. 1 shot, 2 shots from the Misfortune. Now Misfortune will help to make sure Poppy gets further and further ahead. 6-1 on this Poppy.
Oh, side fight.
Meanwhile, we have the fight happening up in top lane. Set actually going in onto the Trundle. Trundle will be able to dodge the W from Set. Set does have the W or Q. Oh, but the last auto goes off and Trundle does get him down.
That was so close.
1
Wow.
over main.
I don't even know how to break that down. Everything happened at once. There was a fight bot side. There was a fight top side.
So the thing was, the Set accidentally reset his autos incorrectly on his Q. So he did his first auto, and you're supposed to get increased attack speed on the second auto, but he instead did a normal attack auto and then a Q, which instantly reset the normal auto instead of getting that second additional punch. That's the punch he missed.
Oh, that would have been the punch to kill. So close. Overall, though, a great victory in the bot side of the map and great synergy. Kaisa, unfortunately, when she ulted down, she got hit by the tower. She wanted to get out, and then she had to go back in. There was a lot of miscommunication of going, are we fighting this? Are we not fighting this? And then they got caught out by the Poppy.
But now Blitzcrank just walks up into the Victor and kind of just, like, the fact that you were able to uppercut him as the start of your CC is a little questionable, but okay. Meanwhile, we did see that the Set did use his TP to get into this fight. It is the Unleashed teleport, so that will be up in about 3 minutes from now. However, Dragon is up in 30 seconds. Trundle will have his.
Yeah, Set's already postured here for the Dragon fight, so hopefully they're able to use the numbers advantage to get possibly a... oh, wait, there's no numbers advantage because Valentino fell there, but trying to get some wards down, push out mid lane, do something here.
Yeah, because... I mean, Poppy is so far ahead, it's scary.
Right?
She's going Death Dance now. So.
I was saying Alpha Pig was going to be one of these main stars to watch.
Looking for somebody. He's going to be going for this brand. Meanwhile, we do have the Q onto the Poppy. Poppy will be able to walk away. Meanwhile, Trundle actually used his ultimate. I didn't see who it was on to. I think it was Poppy.
Poppy, you are a hero. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but Poppy E'd into the Blitzcrank Q, which saved Brand's life.
Misfortune opening up her ultimate. Poppy using her engagement onto the Blitzcrank. Meanwhile, this Annie using her stun onto 2. Poppy using her ultimate, and it kills Blitzcrank. Set pulls the Trundle out of the pit so Poppy can secure the Dragon. Meanwhile, we got double flashes coming in from the mid and top laner. Poppy going on to the Trundle to make him say, hey, remember how you've been treating my top laner? Well, here I am.
Poppy's positioning. Alpha Pig is on fire this game. I called that they would be a star player in the series here, but they're showing up and playing so well. The positioning from Poppy, making sure that they're in their face, and the damage from Poppy. Not only doing that, but the team synergizes, gets the Dragon, gets the kills. That's a huge victory for Stormriders.
Well, the problem in that was they were so. Wisehelm was positioning like they were able to choose the engagement of the fight, but really they'd only had the Blitzcrank. Annie still didn't have her ultimate or up. Sejuani's was up. Like they don't have the follow-up CC to really take command of the fight. Trundle lost his ultimate just before the fight even began. That should have been just called like, hey, we're probably just going to lose this Dragon anyways. You have a lot happening in bottom lane. You have a lot happening in mid lane. Just go and collect the farm.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the philosophy of CEAL see champion, kill champion, but like you need abilities up, my guys. Oh no, Sejuani's going forward while the TP is coming out from the Victor. Victor just saying, "Hey guys, I understand, but like, chill out." That's my girl over there.
Oh, slap fight.
Slap fight happening. Trundle just hitting them as much as he can. They actually, neither of them have their mythics completed yet because Hullbreaker is just that good of an item, apparently.
Hullbreaker's a mythic, right?
Meanwhile, we do have Trundle using his ultimate onto the Set. Set using his ultimate to charge back onto Trundle, but Trundle is going to win this fight. I think he?
Oh!
He better. Trundle's Q steals AD, so he better.
Yeah. I think he had the corruption potion running as well, right? So.
Meanwhile, we have Poppy engaging onto the Trundle. He's like, "Hey, remember how you treated my top laner? Well, here I am again." Meanwhile, he's kind of dodging everything pretty nicely, but Misfortune does pick up a kill. You know, Poppy, I understand you like having money, but you're 8-1. You have a 700 gold shutdown. Please let somebody else have something.
Yeah, now they got their first assist of the game.
Charging. We have the Dead Man's actually coming out from the Poppy. Kaisa using some abilities to actually get away from both the Poppy and Misfortune. Meanwhile, they're charging onto Blitzcrank. The heal comes out to try to save the Blitzcrank. Poppy is still charging onto... Oh, dear God, that's not okay.
That's a lot of damage. TP in the back.
And Ultimate is coming out and does a lot onto the Sejuani. Meanwhile, Kaisa is bleeding badly. She does just barely survive. Meanwhile, we have... Oh, but she actually does go down to the Brand's Dark Harvest at the end of it.
Oh my
And then
word.
Andy kind of TP'd in just to kill herself, I guess.
Well, she wanted to go for the flank, but I guess there was a miscommunication on her team's HP pool, as they were all so low that they couldn't do any follow-up. Yeah, you got the flank. Yeah, you could possibly get a 3-man stun, but you need your team with you to do those plays, right?
Leandries,
so.
Yeah, with Leandries. Like, Leandries is such a bait mythic for so many people. Like, you as Annie need to burst people. That is your job, not slowly whittle them down little by little. Burst them. Get a Ludens. Get a what is the Night Harvester. Like, get those kinds of items on Poppy. Not Leandries, not Everfrost. Okay, maybe Everfrost if you're like support.
Yeah.
But if you're like the mid lane mage, only magic damage champion, realistically, I understand you have Kaisa, but you need to have actual damage on Annie, and doing Leandries doesn't do that for you because you're also with the alternator. You're planning to build a burst item. Why are you building not burst to start off? Stop it. Be better. Be better, guys.
Yeah, it's really feels like there's just something's going on behind the scenes where like one person says one thing and the other person says another.
We do have Annie going to be dropped very quickly with the Poppy, but now Tibbers is pissed off at Poppy because he killed her master.
Yeah. With the dragon coming up in 10 seconds, Hextech is going to be going over to the side of Stormriders. There's nothing really they can do. The best you can do right now is just farm, push out waves, hopefully get some objective bounties on turrets here, but staying by this dragon might not be the best choice unless something crazy happens.
Alright, that is the dragon, and wouldn't you know it, I was actually correct. Oh, but the Misfortune ultimate is stopped, but Trundle is not anywhere in this fight. Misfortune is dropped immediately, and Sejuani will be trying to escape from the Brand's Pern. Meanwhile, Kaisa is trying to escape from the Set and the Poppy. Trundle is the only one left to fight in this one. Will be going down very quickly, but not before he takes out the Victor. So a 2-4-5 looks like to be going down from this one, with an ace coming out for the blue side.
Almost. Annie's still alive.
Annie came alive again. She was dead at the beginning of that fight. To be fair, she was dead for the dragon.
Yeah.
To be fair, technically 5 for 2.
So right now what we're seeing is the chokehold coming out from the Stormriders. They know their advantage. They know that they're going to start winning later on in the match here. And they've been setting up team fights, and they're showcasing to us how well of a team and how well they communicate with one another to really get an upper hand against the Wise Elm in this situation. Now, on the flip
Yeah.
side of that, like, what does Wise Elm have to do? What do they need to do? They need to try and find
So
something to get ahead. They need to find some crazy pick. They need to try and find some of these objective bounties get
so
into their favor there.
so with having a Blitzcrank, you have that ability to just get a pick that wins you the game. Luckily for you, the frontline Poppy has a 700 bounty shutdown. Yes, she is difficult to kill. So you need to find her in one of these transitions that she's done a lot of these like random roams by herself. You saw it happen earlier where she actually died. And just pick her off and try to get that money onto the Kaisa. I don't think at this point you're going to have.
Ooh.
Oh, but Kaisa's actually going in onto the brand. We'll be getting the shutdown off of him. That's 400 bounty gold onto her. So that 700 that completes either her Dirk item or her blasting wand item, probably. Meanwhile, Misfortune's going right in onto her. Meanwhile, Poppy's coming in too. Misfortune is going down immediately. Meanwhile, Poppy is still charging onto this Kaisa. Kaisa's the only one still actually doing damage. Trundle is coming here with the Annie. Annie going for the flash and doesn't actually get it onto the Poppy. Poppy will be able to escape. Meanwhile, Set will be going down. That is 3 dead immediately. They should immediately turn for this Baron.
For sure. That's exactly like that is the call, right? You got everything handed back to you. So hopefully they can use this Baron to get their footing back on this series as well. But they're still down about 7k, 6k roughly.
6k.
Yeah.
Baron, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be 7k because Victor is still doing a lot of damage to this bot lane tower. Trundle's actually teleported back to make sure he was there. Don't know about that one, my guy. I gotta say, I don't know about that one. Kaisa did finish her Dirk item to get a collector. Sejuani has finished her tier item. Hey Shadow, would you like to?
I did say 30 minutes. I knew it was fine.
Meanwhile, Blitzcrank getting caught.
Ooh.
Getting a little ahead of himself, not really with anybody besides himself and his body.
Now, is using the MF ulti proper there with a...
Yeah.
Is it still fine even though... How short is that cooldown?
It's pretty short. It's already a quarter of the way done.
Oh, wow.
It's 98 seconds. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
With her build, she's more built for auto-attacking than her ultimate. It's just that her ultimate does do a lot of damage. So, it's fine.
Good flash.
We do have the flash coming out. Meanwhile, the Blitzcrank does land a hook onto the Brand, does use his ultimate. Brand uses his ultimate in response, and they will be taking him down now. The Kaisa does try to land a W onto the Brand, but will miss. They have no idea, as far as I can tell, if Poppy's actually there or not. But they will be charging over to this Annie. They do a lot of damage, but they are only slowing her for now. They have no idea where the Poppy is. Meanwhile, they have 3 charging onto the Set. Set will be using his ultimate on the Trundle into the Kaisa, but they will be going down and having Sejuani pick this up. God damn it, guys.
Good pickup. The nice Uno reverse card. Blitzcrank had an amazing hook there and an amazing pick opportunity, but the DPS wasn't there. You had a Sejuani, right? So
it was just no damage.
This is like best case scenario for you now for the Dragon to stop them from getting soul. You have Baron. You've taken off one of their key players. Like the Set has been a menace in team fights as well, just by positioning and being a general body for them. So
and the Misfortune doesn't have her ultimate, so they're actually just deciding to just go top lane, which I think is just fine. Like if Poppy steals it, great. If she doesn't, she stole it! Oh my god!
Things went from bad to worse.
It was as bad as it could have gone. Poppy actually just walked up and stole the dragon. Like nobody actually walked in front of her.
Oh no, that's tragic.
That is very tragic. Like you take those trades. I didn't see who actually got the shutdown for it. Kaisa did get the shutdown for it. But now you have a second problem. After that death, Poppy still has 500 gold shutdown. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing, she's worth so much money. Bad thing, if Kaisa gets another one of those, then she just completes whatever item she wants.
Yeah.
If she lands another one, I think they go on her.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, they go. And he goes down. Now they're charging onto the Misfortune. Kaisa immediately flashes onto him. Blitzcrank using his locket. They do actually land the hook onto the set. They're going in. Blitzcrank, you need to hold your ultimate, my guy, for the sets. So, for those of you who don't know, Blitzcrank's ultimate is a shield break. If he actually uses it when Set uses his W, Set will basically just become paperweight.
Oh, Poppy going in on this.
Poppy going in. She doesn't have enough ways to survive. Kaisa does get this shut down, and this Kaisa is on right now.
Yeah, oh, hopefully they don't. They're going to be looking for objectives right now. Get some turrets, get some shutdown gold in their pockets there. They've saved with the Baron power play. They were able to get back like 1k gold. So you want to really see a little bit more here. Is that Brand just dead? No. Okay.
the Hex Tech Soul kept him alive basically with extra damage.
Yeah.
He had enough damage and cooldowns to survive. Imagine if that didn't go over to them. Smile.
Yeah.
Smile.
Smile. Well, it's a 2k gold difference now. That was a big play for the Wisdom. Leaves some hope there.
Yeah, the gold now drops back to about a 2k difference. So it's all on the Kaisa though at this point. Like, she has to carry. She actually picked up a Zanya's over like a GA or some other damaging item. So she is making sure it's like, okay, I need to not only carry this game, but also be able to protect myself just in case.
Something that could be
there's some scary people in this game, man.
Yeah. Tell me about it. That Poppy can almost one-shot you, and look at the tankiness, but the damage that comes out from Poppy is scary.
Poppy picked up a Warmogs. I don't know what Warmogs does in this situation, my guy. Like, it's not an ARAM where you can't just go back to base. Like, how much health do you even have on Poppy? 3,500? I would much rather have, like, a Thornmail at this point. Like, I feel like Thornmail would be better than Warmogs for Poppy right now.
Ooh, objective bounties are falling off.
Yep. They are close enough thanks to Kaisa just popping off. Yeah. Meanwhile, Blitzcrank is looking. They do throw a W from the Kaisa. They don't land anything. I think it's actually fine if Blitzcrank just hooks the Poppy.
Oh my goodness!
Does get a knock up onto her, and Misfortune immediately goes down. Meanwhile, Set jumping into the back line. And, Kaisa using her Zanyas to keep herself safe. Victor, meanwhile, is retaliating damage onto the Blitzcrank, getting him down immediately. Does actually try to keep charging in. Meanwhile, Poppy does use her Sun to knock up the Trundle. Trundle is going to be going down very quickly unless they can kill the Poppy fast enough. Victor will be following suit, and now it's just the Brand. Annie is looking for this Brand. She does have Flash. She does not have Sun just yet. She has her Sun available. She will be looking to go in, but chooses not to and says, it's okay. We are good.
Get Baron, please.
Doing this right now. Also, good Zanya's on the Kaisa. It actually kept her from taking probably half her health damage. Meanwhile, goes on to the Brand and just deletes him.
Yeah, that's Kaisa.
Misfortune is alive. She does have ultimate. I think the best course of action is just to use her ER.
This is crazy. I honestly thought that YSM were going to fall short here and weren't going to be able to make a comeback, but they've proven me wrong, and now they have a 2k gold lead themselves.
Yeah, it was like a 8k gold deficit for them. It was looking really bad. The Poppy was like killing anything that she looked at, basically. But now, you know, it's not looking great for them.
Kaisa literally just said, "Get in my backpack. I'm carrying you guys to the top."
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Stormriders win top down. The YSM, the secret strat is to not lose, you know? Oh, but they capped the Misfortune again! She can't do anything. That as soon as that happens, you just say, alright. Whatever item I was building, it is now a QSS.
You cannot do that as Misfortune.
Was not in this Trundle is not here. This is still a 4v4 with Poppy available. Trundle does not have teleport or flash to get over here. They are dropping the Baron. It's down below half. It is 6,000, 5,000, 4,000. Trundle is here to try to help the Annie from surviving. Meanwhile, the set goes down immediately. Poppy is being pushed around by the Trundle, and they will secure the Baron. Now they're trying to help the Trundle survive. Meanwhile, Kaisa is going down very low to this brand. Does use her Zanya's. Meanwhile, Poppy is looking for her. She will be trying to get her. She does have the flash, but she doesn't get the range. Meanwhile, Trundle is pushing his might around to the Poppy to be like, hey, nah, you go at our pace, not yours.
Oh no. The cooldown.
The cooldown, it is weakening her. She doesn't have Warmogs available, but they will have her get over the wall thanks to the gate. You are welcome.
Can Poppy steal this?
Poppy can steal this. She
Poppy
has
needs
flash available.
to steal this.
She does not. She does not have her ultimate. Blitzcrank misses the hook. Down to 66. They're pulling the dragon out so that if the Poppy does go and flash into the pit, there is no way for her to reach it. Kaisa is below half health. She is getting low. She is very low. Meanwhile, the Blitzcrank is dropped. Trundle is dropped very low too. They will have to retreat and let this Elder Dragon go. Sejuani is looking to see if he can get a stun or a steal, but will not be able to, and that will be Elder going down. Sejuani, you have to escape now.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, Misfortune going over, getting some burn damage onto her, but gets the shield from the tier item and will escape. So the tier item actually proc because she has Thornmail.
No way. Oh my. This is the end. I feel like they can't stop the Stormriders now.
Uses the ultimate. Kaisa used the ultimate to get away, but we're going down the set. Annie will follow suit. That is all of your damage. The set does dodge the Sejuani ultimate. Blitzcrank is not up for another couple of seconds. Meanwhile, 50 seconds for both of your carries. You have to imagine that this is it for game one. Such a tragedy from the Wise Elm for fighting back tooth and nail to falter from just a simple mistake of positioning. And down goes all five. The Wise Elm goes down in game one. Wow. The Stormriders will be taking game one. This is going to be a fight to the death. 61 kills later, 40 minutes. That was heartbreaking for the Wise Elm, but a savior of Stormriders from making it work in the end.
I'm speechless. I'm honestly just speechless. This was crazy. There's back and forth action where I thought one team was down and out, but they made an incredible comeback with amazing plays, and where you thought they won and thought they had the advantage and thought you were going to be able to get that Elder Dragon, Stormriders came out huge in that last team fight, coming in from all angles, pinching them down. Misfortune with what an incredible ultimate right in a choke point, choking out, killing the Blitzcrank, and then they just used that and knew that they had to end the game right then, right there. That was a crazy finish. I had no idea what was going to happen. What a game. That's all I can say is what a game. I'm super excited to see how both teams are going to be playing out for our next match there. Any closing thoughts on MVP or Ace here on this game?
So I would say the Poppy, not because of how well she did as a carry, but because we actually have a clip now of "Get Down, Mr. President."
Yeah. That was a crazy Poppy play. That was 8,000 IQ kind of vibes. That was so good. I want to see if I can pull up the damage numbers. No, it's a little bit broken for me.
Still kind of it's been like this for so long.
Rito, please.
All right, so let's take a quick commercial break with some music. We will be right back. Sound good?
Sounds great. Hello and welcome back, CEAL community. We are going into game two. Stormriders are going to have the potential to move on to the next round if they win this match. That last series was crazy. The back and forth, the Kaisa almost with the near impossible comeback plays, coming down from like 8 to 7k gold deficit, even to making a lead for their team. But one bad team fight, that's what happens late game. One bad pick, one bad play, one misposition. Anything can go late game, and the death timers are so long, and Stormriders coming out on top in the coin flip there. But I believe. Oh, go ahead.
It was so close. Like, you got to feel for that Kaisa. Like, she was putting her heart and soul into that game.
For
and
sure.
Made one little positioning mistake. She wasn't even the one who was caught. It was somebody else. But that one little positioning mistake, got her and her teammates killed.
So hopefully they can crack down on that and maybe pick something off here. So Trundle being pick up first time. Also, for everyone at home, Wisem got a side selection this time, and they opted in for blue side this game here. So they have swapped sides. We see just transitioning over to our picks and bans. See the Stormriders banning out the Poppy, banning out the Leona, banning out the Kaisa. They didn't like the Kaisa, so that's fair. And the same band's coming over for the Wise Elm here, but relatively same picks on both sides.
Mm-hmm. You would have to assume then probably like a Victor's getting picked here.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised of Trundle being picked up so early. I feel like Trundle's more of a counter pick than to be first picked.
It is. It doesn't have a lot of good matchups, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But it provides a lot of anti.
Which champion is that? Draft broke.
The draft broke.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do it again.
No.
Oh no! They sent us a picture. This is a blank screen. They got gray screened in draft select.
Also, nice choice of anime.
I do like it. I appreciate. Yeah, they're gonna have to remake that real quick there. A lot of Helmet Bros coming out. I wonder if Stormriders are just gonna continue this. I'm gonna watch this through until they give me a new draft link. It's draft diff already. It's Trundle versus the world. They only needed one champion. Redo of champ select. Trundle gray screened them.
GG easy.
I'm
Thanks Riot.
Thanks. Yeah.
Can't even make a third party draft tool.
I know what the other one that we the other draft link that we used to use, Pro Draft as well. It would give them random champions. So when stuff like this happens, it's always fun to see what the automated system randomly picks for teams. But this time it looks like it's just Helmet. Ooh, new link. Yes. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I see it now. Let's get that set up for everyone here. All right, transition that in. Okay, so now they're just redoing the lobby, same band, same picks, up to the Trundle pick. Sorry, after the Trundle pick here.
Yeah, so up to the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, sorry. Did they pick Blitzcrank?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was after the Blitzcrank is where it...
I thought it was after the Brand. I thought they picked Brand, yeah. There it is.
Oh, sorry, Brand. Yeah, I was expecting them to pick Blitzcrank. I'm sorry.
They probably will. I mean, I don't sure if you want to put Blitzcrank into Brand here, but... That pick was pretty troll, huh? You're proud. You're proud of that joke, aren't you? I like it.
Somebody temporary ban this guy. I'm timing you out. I'm timing you out for that.
Leave him alone. It made me giggle.
Timing you out for that.
No.
Wait, I actually don't have the power anymore. Wait,
Aha!
I have the power to do this. Wait, there we go. There we go. There, I see it. I can time him out
No.
for 10 minutes.
Leave his ADC alone. Am I missing something?
What?
Or are they not picking again?
No, they're picking still. You're missing something.
Oh, my things. Okay, I see now. I understand. I know what I did wrong. I didn't
Have you seen
open
the error
it.
of your voice?
I did not open it on my. I was looking at the other one still. I was like, wow. I guess it broke after Trundle again. But at least on stream it was fine. I just didn't open it up for myself.
This is why you'll no longer be the leader of the stream team.
Yeah. I went to mascot role.
By the way, everybody, as we were going through this draft, so I'll make a better announcement later, but we are looking for new tribunal members in the off season. Dragon Rider has been repurposed to be the CEAL TikTok influencer.
It's going to be great. I'm going to be having so much fun. I can't wait to make more TikToks.
He's going to be making so much cringe content.
Oh, of course. That's my favorites.
I hope everybody enjoys it.
You got to embrace the cringe. Be one with the cringe. We were looking for stream team and I think one more, right? I believe.
I'm sorry?
We're looking for a stream team and another.
We're looking for 3 new people.
3 new tribunal members.
Yep. For those of you who don't know, please head into the SEAL's Discord's announcements. You will see some of the information regarding this. Some tribunal members we had step down from their position to make room for some new fresh blood. Blood.
But back to the game at hand here. We've got a lot of new picks and new faces. Viego is really good on for the Stormriders. We've seen Alpha Pig play. You know that they're a talented player, and they're going to be another key member for this game as well. So if they can get ahead, that's going to be terrifying. You saw how powerful they were with a Poppy. Now they have a Viego in their hands. On the flip side of that, Senna and Vi, Orianna, and Ashe for the Wise Elm here. A lot of comfort pick. I see that first rotation, they got rid of Orianna, but last game. But this time around, they're letting the Orianna through and letting the Ahri through as well for Valentino. So a lot of comfort picks all around for each team. They're throwing their best at each other, and let's see how it all turns out. But compositionally wise, it's hard to say. It really, it's going to depend on these junglers. Depending on how these junglers play, where they're going to be positioning, and how they are going to create leads and objective control for both sides here. So going to be something definitely to watch out for. Now, I'm going to transition us over into our little League client version of all this, so it looks pretty. What are you doing over here? What are you doing in chat, Ansem?
I'm flirting with the chat.
Oh, good. Good head pats all around.
Yo, it's like people want different things to be happy, like in relationships. Me, I just want somebody to make me feel safe. Make me feel wanted. Make me know that everything is going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay, man.
By the way, ladies, I am single.
Get him, pick him up. Now we're gonna see. Ashe Senna bot lane is gonna be pretty nice compared into the Jhin Brand. I'm kind of favoring a little bit more of Jhin Brand just from pure base up performance of Brujo last game on the Brand. Seeing how well they positioned and how much damage they were able to produce for the team. Excited to see how that turns out. As for mid lane, Orianna versus Ari. Ari, I feel, has a little bit more kill potential and a little bit better roam potential than the Orianna. So, gonna have to keep an eye on them. Top side, we've seen this matchup before, and I'm not sure if Trundle has a different game plan this time around, or they're gonna have a different answer to the set's overall aggressive playstyle level 1. But something needs to change, and it might just come down to a Vi being able to come and gank the set early. Now, what are your thoughts on these two teams here, Ansem?
I'm still kind of looking over because, like, I feel like I actually like the Wise Elms better in this one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you've got 280 carry, but I don't know why, but I feel like they're not equipped to actually play this calm. I don't know what it is, but like I like it, but like something just doesn't feel right about it.
I think it's just, to me, it feels of it lacks a little bit more of a front line. Trundle has so much stuff on his shoulders, and the Vi has a lot on their shoulders, where Vi and Trundle are a little bit more
Oh, Vi's going to
bruisery.
go lethal. Vi's going to go lethality.
Sorry,
I'm going to
I
tell you
Oh,
that
don't
right
know
now.
that.
oh God, Alexa, stop. Sorry. I think she disagrees with you, Ansem. I don't know what you said because she just yelled in my ear, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
People hovering other champions. It's like, sir, if you're hovering other champions when I'm here, one of them needs to be Wukong. Don't hover other champions. Like if you're going to hover a champion, hover Wukong.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get to my heart.
Is Wukong your original main?
Yes.
Ah.
So for those of you who may or may not know, while my actual age is not of a boomer, to this game I am most definitely a boomer. I've been playing this game since season 1. I have the skins to prove it.
Nice. Do you,
Um,
do you have the legendary Rusty Blitzcrank?
no, I have the legendary Judgment Kale.
Ooh. That one's fancy. I believe I started when Rengar was released. So,
Black Alistair
do you
costs
have?
way too much money. I do have a pack skin though
I
from
think
2012.
I wish I had money when I started League because I would have really liked some of those nice skins back in the day. But I was a simple college boy.
Yeah, I was at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament actually,
Hmm.
at a PAX event because it was up in Orlando, Florida.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, old games, I know. Um, and there was the PAX event in one part of uh, the building, and in the other part was the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. So I just hopped over during one of the rounds to get PAX Sivir, I think.
Wow. Your account is worth so much just because of that alone.
Yeah, it's worth hundreds of dollars just from that alone.
I know in the Jack subreddit that I'm in, if you buy every single skin and ask for the PAX Jacks, that I've known a couple people actually getting it. Riot just gifts it to them, yeah, because they own every skin in the game.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, but now,
if they spent thousands of dollars, I guess sure.
they actually did a shadow nerf to the rerolls for champion skins. You can
Oh,
no longer reroll mythics.
oh wow, that's
If those
unfortunate.
are the only skins you can get, you cannot reroll them.
Oh,
It'll come up.
Reese is saying Mike got that for PAX TF. Yeah, that makes sense. But now it's going to cost you more money to do that.
Yeah,
That's so unlucky.
yeah. They did that just this last patch,
Oh,
because people were getting to like those last couple of skins available,
mm-hmm.
and they were re-rolling the mythic skin when they shouldn't be. because those are gemstones
Oh,
only.
yeah, I see, I see. I feel didn't there was talk about something changing with the gemstones or um no, it wasn't the gemstones. I think it was the event rewards were ending soon. I think I heard from.
They ended today.
Yeah, that it was. That's what that was. I'm
Yep.
hoping. All right.
Last night was the last day you could get uh any of the uh reward points
Ah, yes.
because they're going to be doing something new in
Ah.
place of those. But yeah,
Mm. I've been too enveloped with Lost Ark. I've been playing too much of that
Elden Ring,
MMO. Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, I bet. All right.
But all
Oh,
right, 5 seconds left, chat. Who do you guys think is going to win? We have the Wise Elm on the blue side, Stormriders on the red side. Stormriders need just one more win to advance to the semifinals. Who do you think is taking this game?
let's see our picks and bans. Or our skin selections. And I hope that it doesn't break on us this time. That'd be really unfortunate.
Like it worked for like a day, and then it stopped working again. And also, everybody enjoyed looking at the portraits on the right side of the screen jettisoned because they can't do proper spacing coding correctly. Apparently,
Yeah, that's.
you'll see what I mean when we get in.
Oh yeah. Hey, is that Vi from Arcane?
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
she was in League of Legends.
I actually didn't know Set got a firecracker skin.
Yeah, he played it last game. Oh, is it gonna work? Come
No.
on. No. No. Tragic. All right, let's fix it. At least we know what to do. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get it.
I'm so old. I have traditional trundle.
Oh yeah. That started with like what was it? Was Trundle the first
Karma.
one? Oh, it was
Karma.
Karma.
And I didn't own Karma back then, so
I have the
uh,
Karma. I have the
I
traditional
don't have
Karma.
Karma.
There was another one, wasn't there? Or was I forget who was? I know it's Trundle first. It was Trundle then Karma.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. Because I don't have the Trundle one.
because Karma got the rework with her stuff, but I will pause it at 15 seconds.
Yeah, I just loaded up mine now here too. So let's get that organized for us. Oopsie
Avoid
daisy.
spoilers from myself, and I do not see any of the things on the screen for the teams. XD.
Oh, give me a second. Let me get that. Let me fetch those for you. Ta-da! All right. On three. One,
All right,
2, 3. All right.
let's go.
So, shenanigans? Yes, no, maybe so. Possibly from Vi, Ari, and Set. They're going to be looking for something possibly topside. Again, the Wizome looking to go into the base.
Find them.
Oh,
They see each other. They back away.
the famous walk away maneuver.
Jin actually got a
Perfectly
ward
done.
on the other side of the dragon pit.
Oh, would you look at that? A lot of wards, level 1. They want to play super safe. They want to know exactly where the jungler is. And great deep wards on the side of the Stormriders to get everything checked out and looked after.
Just wondering in the chat, is Shadow still here? Would he like to bet if there's another tier item?
It worked. It worked last time. I don't think these champions build tier this time around.
Nope. If they do, that's kind of cringe. Like,
would Trundle benefit from it?
No.
No?
No. His mana costs are too low.
That's fair.
If he wants a mana item, get a Frozen Heart about it.
Shadow says no bet. Oh, here we go,
Well,
top
this isn't
side.
Ionia. This is Noxious. They're guaranteed to fight for 30 minutes plus. Oh wait, that ended at 30 minutes last time.
Yeah. I'm proud of Sejuani for getting it done. I knew she could do it. I want to see what happens topside again. This time around, like we saw last game, the Set's gonna fight that Trundle early and really do a
Oh
little bit more
dang, they're
damage.
doing a lot of damage to this Jhin. Jhin actually having to flash and heal.
Wow, an amazing trade bot side for them. Overall, coming on top bot side, making them use both summoners, the heal and the flash. That's going to be really difficult for them as they go into possibly a Vi. So if you step up with Jin with the really lack of escapes, there's
Oh,
nothing
we
you
do
can
have
do about
Viego
that.
coming down already. He does use it. He is going to be kind of seen technically.
Oh,
We do actually have the flash coming out from the Senna. Senna using her W as well to lock him up. Now they're going on to the Brand. Brand is going to be trying to walk away. Meanwhile, the Viego comes back in again onto the Ashe. Jhin did try to help out with his W, but now Viego's having to flash away. Ashe is going to flash forward with her heal and will be getting the first blood thanks to the Senna. Now they're going to turn it on to the Jhin. Jhin is going to be going down and getting that first kill for the Ashe with the first blood going over to the Senna.
that is so unfortunate. The gank unsuccessful. Overextension. Brujo stepping up a little bit too much. He didn't hit level 2. He was still level 1, so wasn't able to get that extra ability. Well, you saw Ashe, well, you saw Senna kind of windle their way back, windle their way forward, and were able to get not 1, but 2 kills. So that's a great early start for them.
For those asking in the chat, yes, Senna's Q, not only does it slow, it's a scaling slow based on her AD and AP. It's like 0.06% AP, 0.1% AD, bonus AD. But yeah, so that's cool that it can scale up to basically a 100% slow. If you really wanted to go for it, yes, it can, in fact.
Is it just like
just gotta get...
It's like Janna stun used to do that, right? Where it was 100% slow and people literally just sat still. It was like a stun.
No, it was Thresh's box.
Oh.
It was the 0.25 second stun. Then they changed it to a 0.25 seconds low.
My.
Did you know that Twisted Fate's gold card used to be AoE?
Oh god.
And that his current ultimate used to be a basic ability.
Didn't Master Yi have the same thing where his ultimate was on just his Q or something? I forget. I think it was relatively similar.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a fight happening in onto the bottom lane still once again, but we're cool. Things all right. We're not that crazy, guys, right? Right.
No, they're waiting for the 15 minute mark.
It's 15 minutes, right?
That's when Stormriders just go absolutely crazy on the enemy team. They did it last game, right at the 15-minute mark. That's when things started going like insane.
It started being like, wait, what? Why? What? Guys, you don't have to see champion kill champion.
When did Poppy get 4 kills?
Remember that Heimerdinger's original passive was actually healing all nearby units, including towers.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
No. As for early dragons, because of the unfortunate bot side gank there, I feel like Viego had to do a little bit of a clear, keep up to Vi. And now it looks like he's bot side here, so let's see if he can make something happen.
He will not, because Senna already landed the W. Meanwhile, Brand is trying to get a stun off, but will not. And also able to dodge out of the Jhin snare too. So, you know, it's all good.
Brand losing Flash in that trade actually is going to be... I'm waiting for Vi just to appear, you know?
Vi is power farming, and like, I mean, my girl, you're good at ganking early. You can gank.
You'd almost want to be following the Viego if you're Vi, just making sure just staying on par with him and making sure he can't get those early leads. Thankfully enough, though, the bot lane counteracted the early gank, but you
Jin's
gotta be
up
on
in
top of
farm.
this.
Jin is still up in farm somehow.
Wow. Good for
How do
him.
you have that happen? Did you know that so they didn't actually know how to properly program some abilities that could go off screen, like Blitzcrank's hook. So they actually made it a point and click ability.
Oh my gosh. I think, is it still true Blitzcrank's hook icon is the opposite hand of the actual
Yes, it
hook?
is.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is.
Nice. I'm glad they kept that original.
Oh, I saw that.
It's unfortunate.
Set
It's
missed that
okay.
kill.
He's gonna still punch. Viego's posturing topside. He's gonna be in the Vi's jungle, but Vi actually gonna be ganking the mid lane. Very calm. Calm before the storm, Ansem. We gotta wait patiently. Wait the turn of the Noxians. Because they will rise and they will hit everything in sight. Trundle doing a great job freezing this, actually, and keeping a relatively same farm and playing safe early. So, big difference from last game in comparison, where the set got that early game, that early kill and early advantage. This time around, Trundle's doing really good for himself.
Trundle doesn't have any mana, so he can't really fight these.
No. Can't really do too much until later on, or a Vi ganks, but you don't want Vi ganking right now because you have no mana. Back call is probably appropriate here.
I have a boomer, did you know, actually, about this game.
All
Did you
right.
know that originally the back button wasn't actually a button? It was an item that you actually had to purchase.
I did remember that. It wasn't. It was before my time, but I remember the lore history of it all. It was.
Yep.
Could you imagine if I was still to this day? They should have a like a back in time, just a little game mode.
In the better game, Dota 2.
Oh yeah.
It is a thing there. Oh, but Brand actually lands a very good stun. Meanwhile, Senna does actually flash while the Ashe uses her ultimate. The snare does still come out onto the Senna. Meanwhile, they're retaliating a lot of damage onto her. Brand does get a nice stun onto her. Jin can open up with his ultimate, but chooses not to. Did heal the Brand, and they will be able to back off, just saying, hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Jin does get another good snare onto the Senna. Senna, did she have... Okay, so now Jin opens up onto both of them.
Does he get it? Ah,
He
dynamic
does not
camera
get
went
it.
mid.
Meanwhile, we do have a nice charm off from the Ahri onto the Orianna. Orianna doesn't even know. They have no idea that they actually still go into it with Orianna getting this nice shockwave off. The Viego does try to get his ultimate off, but doesn't actually land it because Orianna gets her ultimate off, or her flash off. And the ball going to the Vi does get the double kill, basically, for the mid jungle duo.
Great team, good synergy from the mid jungle duo in that mid fight there. Viego actually missing E to start that initiation off was crucial there, and it led to the victory for the Wisem Vi and led Orianna with a big shockwave landing on to both members there. So overall, great trade mid side, and it's gonna lead them into a slow but steady mid game into late game. So 2K gold lead currently.
Oh, but now the Jin does actually have to flash bottom side from the Ashe's ultimate. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that we're seeing this much outplays happen in the Noxian division, where it's just a skill check in all of these matchups.
Yeah, they've been
we
playing
had a bunch
really
of them
well.
in last game too. Like both of them has just been like skill checks. Like, are you better than me? Which I understand. This is the Noxian division, so you can have as wide as silver to platinum. But we do have the engagement happening with the Vi going onto the set. Set does use his ultimate to charge back onto him. Vi does not have her ultimate, but Trundle did use his ultimate, and Set will end up flashing to escape.
Yeah, good trade.
Vi
will be back. Yeah. I don't think she'll go for a turret dive. But you
hope
know she'll be
so.
back. She's gonna go for the Shelly,
So
possibly go mid
I'll be
lane.
back late a bit.
Honestly, um, Dragon's gonna be up in another 25 seconds there.
Oh, but they got another snare onto the Viego. Viego does just barely gets his ultimate in time to save himself.
Ooh, so close. Oriana almost got that snare, and
Like it was milliseconds
it
of
was
time for him.
it was pixel
Like
perfect. Yeah,
like you could see he was mashing that button.
yeah. Hoping.
Like please come up, please come up, please come up. Oh, thank God it came up in time.
I don't think Set wins these.
No, he just trades damage. Meanwhile, we do have Oriana trying to trade on the Viego. Viego does smite to keep himself healthy. Meanwhile, Jin actually opened up very close to both the Ashe and the Senna. Oriana is close enough that she can do a lot of damage. Does use the Viego ultimate to go in. Brand does a lot of damage too, and Viego will pick up the Ashe. The Brand will pick up the Senna, and now they're looking to pick up the Vi.
No way. What an outplay for Alpha Pig, getting all of those kills just in time. Actually dodging the Vi Q because they were transferring over into Ashe. And then they were able to do more damage, get the damage off onto Senna, take the Senna. And then, now, add salt to the injury there, they were able to pick off the Dragon. So that was an amazing call, an amazing play, and it brought them right back into this game here. They're actually ahead of schedule. It's 13 minutes.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
You're saying it's going to be more crazy?
They're doing just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to get it's going to get crazy. Like I was saying, like they were making just big outplays from the Wise Elm to now Stormriders, the Cool Calm Collected are trying. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we do have the Set actually using his ultimate onto the Trundle. Trundle has got enough damage, enough willpower, and will take him down.
Yeah, I was surprised Set was able to do that much damage, but unfortunately, Trundle stealing away your stats and gaining them for himself, putting you underneath turret, putting you underneath the pressure. Trundle will be able to come out on top in those trades.
And Hullbreaker helps.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Trundle had his item completed before the Set. Set has now finished his Bork.
Yeah, he opted out for Bork this time.
Senna with the happy feet down there. God damn.
She's speedy.
She wanted that ward, but like she kept stutter stepping to like do I actually want this ward, or nah, they can have that ward, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't die, they can have that ward. Meanwhile, Viego ganking the top lane does get a bunch of stacked damage onto the Trundle, but Trundle is sacking his Conqueror too.
Trundle doesn't have any mana though.
Yeah, but Trundle dodges the stun, which is the important part, and Viego cannot finish the kill.
That stun is so crucial. You got to land those on Viego, just so you can finish off some of these major kills and these major picks. We've seen, like, in this game here, how many times that has proven true as well, where just one Viego E missing can change the tide of the entire fight. Or, on the flip side of that, one Viego E landing also makes him super powerful. He's able to get his full combo off, a great heal, and is able to really sustain and do so much for his
team.
Have
an engagement happening here. Jin is going to open up. Viego does end up taking that blue buff, but Rand will be taking that kill. Meanwhile, Jin does hop over the wall, but nobody will be able to retaliate with him getting over there all by him lonesome.
What a great read and good team communication. Everyone collapsed in on the Vi from overextending inside of their jungle, and they were able to come out huge in that
we do have a fight happening in the top lane. Trundle realizing he is in a very big hole with the Bork being completed. Set can actually win these trades very handily.
Yeah, it's a different item build from last game. Last game we saw the Hullbreaker. This time we see the Bork, and the trades are going to be turning it a little bit differently. So good itemization from Alpha Y here. Now, as for just CS numbers here, Viego.
I would immediately just press the R button. Like, she's slowed. She's in a really good position for me to. Either I get a flash or I get a kill. Let's go. But chose not to. Thought that it would just be a trade of ults. And they don't know where the Vi is. That could be just a gank for Vi to get a free kill. But Vi is now in the top lane. There is no tower for Set to run away to, so they're going to do a lot of damage. Set does use his flash. Meanwhile, Trundle will follow. But now we do actually have Alpha Pig helping out Valentino take out this Orianna for trying to think that she could do something.
Yeah, great plays all around the map there. Vi successfully ganking. Valentino successfully ganking. Both solo laners coming out big there. Valentino not actually picking up the kill. You got another kill onto Viego, which is fine. Viego can...
Viego is a carry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a defined carry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a Sejuani picking up all these kills. So.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. I want to see if teams rotate towards this and see how this team fight plays out. Because honestly, I feel like the YZM have a great team fight potential, and they can make a couple great picks here and possibly even a Dragon if they perform it correctly.
So I just decided to look. Because we have a stacking champion in this game, Senna has 65 stacks. 66 stacks, okay? Like... we are not even 20 minutes in yet. That's scary.
Yeah, this Senna has been really good.
Like, if it's going to come down to, like, whoever gets the most value out of this laning phase, it's so far going to Senna.
Oh,
but
Viego.
We do have an engage coming in. Viego's coming in with the Jhin opening up to slow them down. Meanwhile, the Senna does actually go down. Meanwhile, the Ahri tries to charge into the Ashe, but will not be getting anything. And yeah, now they'll be going for Dragon.
That's exactly what you need to do for Stormriders. You need to find those picks. You need to make sure you don't get in those team fight potential where YZM really thrive. And getting that early pick bot side leads to the next Dragon here. So good on them for really coordinating that play correctly. Top side, though.
Top side, though, and bot side. We have a collapse happening onto the Ashe again. She doesn't have sums. She doesn't have the life. She is going down to this Jhin. Meanwhile, Set is going to pole vault this Trundle over, but he does not have enough to keep going through what Trundle has available.
Yeah, Set falling a little bit further behind in that trade is now losing lane pretty hard. And Trundle could potentially use that lead and carry that into the mid lane and then possibly even bot lane. So excited to see how they're going to utilize that. But with Hull Breaker, you're kind of linked to one side. You just got to keep pressuring down the Set, but potentially we just use them to take away picks and put numbers advantage for the other side of the map here. Now, Ahri in the mid lane, falling a little bit down in CS, but as for gold and everything, I think they're pretty much
Viego's
even.
Coming in onto the Vi. Meanwhile, Ahri goes in for the charm. Trundle actually keeping the minion alive for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, we do have the Orianna getting the double flash out of both the mid and the jungler. The Rift Herald does secure the mid lane tower, and that will be, so far, nobody going down. But we do have Viego looking for a little bit more. Bot lane is still down there for the blue side. Set is TPing to make sure that the turret survives a little bit longer. Ashe lands the ultimate onto the Set. The Set is going to be able to get onto the tower just fine. Meanwhile, Viego and the rest of the team are joining in. We have Viego going forward before anybody else. The sun is going out. It does land onto the Senna. Senna is going to be snared up by the Jhin. Jhin opens up with the Brand using his ultimate too. We do have a lot of same going out for both of them. But the death blow for the Senna going down.
That was so much damage! That was 25% of their HP bar!
That was 643 damage from the Jin's final shot of the ultimate.
Word!
Meanwhile, Viego's looking for the kill onto the Vi. Vi does use the Q to get over onto the other side of the wall. And Ashe will be able to live thanks to the sacrifice of Senna. God bless.
Yeah, what a great play for Stormriders there, coming up big into that trade. Let's see what they're going to do. It might be a little bit of another team fight breaking out. We do see everyone rotating down for the bot lane. Let's see what happens.
That's taking quite a bit of damage. He's going really low. He does have his W. He will be getting it off, and the ultimate to go off too. Now he's going to pull the Ashe back in, and Ashe is going to be going down too. Meanwhile, Trundle is trying to see if he can get any damage in retaliation. Ashe is taken over by the Viego. Viego is going to use his next ultimate to get himself out of there. Ahri is back on the map in the mid lane, but that will be it, as it is a 2-for-none trade.
This is scary for the Y Zone. You had a great early lead. You had a good couple advantages there. But now these Stormriders are doing a great job of team fighting, playing it safe, playing it front to back, and they've been on fire the last couple minutes. The gold is actually basically evened up now, so what was once an early game lead for the Y Zone has turned and become nullified. And now you kind of see the kind of team fight and potential coming in from the Stormriders.
I still have hope for the Senna getting past 100 stacks. That's not even questionable. But it's not going to happen if she's the one farming bot lane. Guys, why are we having the support farm?
They are the carry now.
Guys, I hate it when we do this. Stop.
They have an interesting spread. They have both AD carries on solo lane, well, by themselves.
Yeah,
That
or
would,
the bottom side.
yeah, you're going to want to switch that up because Stormriders are going to be able to pick that off
like,
pretty fast.
You're going to be able to pick it off. You're not getting the vision of the sight stone from your Senna. You're not getting the gold value because Senna's farming. Like,
Oh, hey, Ansem, there's a tier item.
where?
Look.
Oh,
It's
wait, on Senna.
on Senna.
That's troll. Like, that's so troll.
So I don't know if it's got to be a 40-minute game now.
Shadow, are you
Where's
there?
Shadow? Is he here?
This is 100% a game where I'm like, yo, I bet the Senna doesn't finish it.
Well, the last time they got it, Shadow, stop.
Yo, no, I'll bet that they finish.
You think?
I'll bet that they don't. Actually, no.
I don't. It's pretty late in the game. I think they might not finish it this time. Last time it was around 14 minutes, so they could finish it around the 30-minute mark. This time's a little bit harder. They got it around the 20-minute mark, so that's 5 minutes later. So you're gonna need like a 40-minute to a 30-minute long game here. So, well, 35-minute long game. Sorry.
35.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stormriders, they're collecting these dragons, ready to get to that late game scaling even sooner than expected. Set walking in these front lines has the double healing of what you would see Irelia's build, actually, with the Gore Drinker, Blade of the Ruin King. And for those of you who don't know why I'm badgering Shadow so much, I think it was the Ionian finals. Or no, it was the Shuriman finals. One of the players decided to build tier at like 28 minutes. And so I asked if anybody wanted to bet with me on whether he actually completes it or not. Shadow took up that bet. 1 sub for the team. If the game ends, he bet that he will complete the item before the game ends. I bet that the item would not be completed. Shadow lost.
Oh no. It's okay.
He had to pay. He had to pay a $5 bill to the community at random for a free sub. Thanks, Bud, for
Shadow.
the free ass money. I didn't have to give it.
It was Shadow's big brain play to give back to the community while having fun at the same time. Next couple. Oh, go ahead.
He also said to remind him to call out ZZ Dog for actually finishing the game at a reasonable time.
That is fair. Now, Baron was actually taken as well. I know Stormriders like the early objective, so good to see that they picked this one up.
26 minutes in, I guess, so from what I'm looking at here is there's probably going to be 3 Barons in this game. This first one is actually going to be used just to break the outer, or the inner towers, because they don't really have good siege. They have great team fight, but not great siege.
We might have something happen up top here. We do have Diego and Set sitting side by side with one another, but with Senna showing, I don't think they want to take the trade of a 3v2.
Yeah, no, like, even if you're able to get onto one of them, the fact that Senna's there to just make your life miserable, you don't really want to. Set is hard baiting this though. Like Set is just like,
He
please fight me.
he's trying to be the best
Meanwhile,
rotisserie
Oriana's doing
chicken.
a lot of good damage onto Ari, dissuading her from wanting to actually fight down here.
Ooh,
Ari actually
wow.
forced to expend the ultimate. Meanwhile, 3 are in mid lane just beating down this tower too.
Yeah, 1-3-1 split, trying to do what they can, but Oriana's winning that bot side, so they're going to be safe in the bot side of the map. They're going to have to rotate quickly and make something happen either mid lane or top side. With the mid lane inner turret going down, they're just going to rotate bot with the Ahri, pick up the next turret there, and kind of keep a hold of this lead and really kind of drive into a win condition and hopefully crack open the base in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so like I said, this first Baron is just getting some of these extra towers that are in the way.
Slap fight!
Trundle is kind of winning these. He's got his ultimate. Oh, Jesus, that last Q.
Trundle is the best slapper in the game.
Divine Sunderer proc right there on that Q. You could see it happen. It
Yeah.
like, oh dear, well, there goes that self.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the first Baron. I believe there's going to be 3 Barons in this game because it's just going to be too difficult otherwise.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you were saying before, they have a hard time sieging. With the Baron power play, they were able to get 2 turrets, thankfully, with the synergy that they had. They got the mid, they got the bot,
well,
but it's hard to crack open the base.
They were able to put enough pressure top lane such that they lost pressure in mid, that they were able to get that.
Mm-hmm.
From there, they were able to get bot because they had a 3v4.
Yep. Now, if you're on the side of the Y zone, you're kind of put in a corner again. Hopefully, we can find some really immaculate plays from the team fight potential that they have, and possibly into a couple picks. Oriana is going to be a big player here. If she can land a big ultimate, the whole team. Oh, you
Jin,
just killed that! You just killed that!
No, you can't.
As Oriana?
You try to. You definitely go for it.
Yeah.
But like you can't. Like both, like Red side has full knowledge that they're over there, so.
That's fair, yeah. Well, Dragon Fight's about to break out. Let's see what happens.
RT being into the middle of this. Trundle is going right into the middle of this with the Vi. Vi is going to be dropped almost instantly to Valentino. Meanwhile, Trundle is also going down. Senna is in melee range of the Viego. Jin is ult. Oh no, but the Oriana Shockwave was on the Ashe, and that is a 5-for-0 ace.
That is big. Soul going over to Stormriders there. They're TPing mid. They're trying to crack open this base, taking the advantage there. And what a great team fight for the Stormriders. Really coming out on top, positioning well. The YZM were not able to get on top of them. Were not able to get onto those carries and do the damage and shut down potential that their team comp has.
So there was, I think, a huge miscommunication of what they wanted to do in that fight. Vi wanted to go for the dragon. Trundle wanted to go for the actual players.
They might try and end here. Let's see what happens.
They do have Senna getting a lot of damage off with the Ashe now being up. They are going to be able to get away from the tower. Meanwhile, the Vi, as Viego as Vi, goes in onto the Ashe. Does get away from the tower as well. Meanwhile, the Oriana and Trundle are here. They are doing a lot of damage. The Shockwave does go on to 2. They do pick up the brand. Viego having to flash over onto the other side of the wall. Viego going back onto the Oriana. Senna is going to be dropped by the Jin. Meanwhile, Set is pulling this Trundle forward, and that is another ace for the side of Stormriders. This time a 5-for-1.
Yeah, and that's going to be the end of the game.
The surrender vote and the forfeit. It is done. The Stormriders have done it, and they will be moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah, congratulations, Stormriders. You hadn't, like, that early game was scary. You saw the big lead bot side, the unsuccessful gank from the jungler, but they took a deep breath. They took it slow. They were able to get their heads back on their shoulders there and just come out huge and a lot of big and major team fights, getting on top of those objectives. And honestly, I think it comes down to a lot of communication skills. They've been together for a long time, and they come out big in this series, and so they're going to be going on to the next round. Ansem, do you have takeaways for the series as a whole? Who do you think are our major
So,
MVPs and the ace for the Wise Elm here?
so definitely Alpha Pig putting, uh, like he puts himself in there even on these damage dealing champions. Um, I believe he is the highest ranked player on his team. Let me check to
I think
confirm that. But
Alpha Y might be right now, just because it's
Alpha Y
the.
might be right now. Alpha Pig was Platinum 4.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably feels the need to really push himself to be the best that he can be. Um, but I would actually like to see if we can get a post game interview if that's fine with you.
Yeah, let's try and get someone up here.
Let me go ahead and give a shout. Um,
Hopefully,
yeah,
let's
I
see.
would like to definitely say that Alpha Pig is probably the most impressive from this. All right, we have our interviewee. I'm bringing him.
Yes, bring him in. Bring in the Alpha.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah,
brother.
would have sent my brother, but he's a little shy.
Oh no. Well, then I have to bring Alpha Pig, right?
Yes.
All right, then I'm bringing him in then.
Okay, you can. He'll talk if I'm here, but probably won't talk without me.
Okay, well, he's coming in here. He's going to be doing this interview whether he or not.
And Tom.
Okay, you're doing an interview with me.
Hello. Congratulations to both of the brothers, I assume.
Yes, you couldn't tell.
No.
Alpha
So
supremacy.
Yes.
definitely a much more controlled game than last cast from the Wise Elm. Thank you. I appreciate it. So congratulations, you have made it to the semifinals. You were the number 4 seed, so we still have to wait for the other matchup, to be fair. But you will be most likely going up against
Imagine Shadow, right?
Imagine Shadows.
Is that right?
Yes, because they were the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if Orange Forge loses,
Then they face Sloppy Steaks.
then you would play Sloppy Steaks because it's dynamic seating.
Got it.
But let's talk about this match. How did you feel going into this match, and was it about what you expected?
I'll take this one. I'll say yeah. I figured that. We figured as a team that I'd probably be able to hold my own top lane. I didn't really get many resources at all, and we actually played through the bot lane, so kind of the opposite of what I told you pre-match.
Yep.
The psych out.
So I just kind of played set both games because I understood that High Raise likes to play a lot of tanks. He ended up picking the Trundle, which did surprise me. But other than that, we had trust in our bot side of the map to elevate their play and carry through alongside my brother.
Despite losing 2v2s in the early game.
It's okay. We trust their team fighting ability.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I actually want to know, so like getting like a flashback, and I know your team as a whole kind of recuperates and kind of does a really good job under pressure. Like in the game 1, when Kaisa was getting that huge lead, what was going on in comms is she was just pressuring down the team. How did you guys like kind of stay calm and shut it down right before that big Elder fight?
We weren't calm. You could probably answer this. Me and Tristan are very active in comms. We probably talk the most, but Tristan, you could probably answer this. What was going on there?
Phone's mic wasn't working, so he couldn't hear nor could he talk. So
Oh no!
Oh
a
no!
lot of the game. I also brought the wrong runes.
Panic.
Yeah.
But nothing much. Really, when we fight, it gets quiet.
It's kind of all. I was actually no. I think that's not true. It's kind of all of us just calling out different abilities, and different basically ultimates and the normal spells being called out. And my brother sometimes like maybe suggesting to my father like what to do in like Brujo, what to do in fights, or where to position, when to ult, things like that. Like my brother is really good when it comes to understanding everyone's champion and how it functions within a fight, and he usually directs us very well. I'm more of just like yo, just position better.
Mhm.
But my brother is more understanding of how the champions work and how to fight with them. It's kind of how we tag team.
Yeah, and as a follow-up question to that, in game two, when you saw the bot lane starting to get that lead, that 4-0 lead there, how do you guys stay calm and stay untilted and keep going and stay true to your plan?
The team keeps me calm because I am a very hot-headed top laner. So it's constantly them it's constantly them trying to keep me cool. Because obviously I was very frustrated that I couldn't come into my lane. I'm just like, why can't I get a gank? Help me, please. So it's normally everyone else has like a really calm demeanor. I'm the fiery one. So everybody like kind of just stays cool and they're like, you know what? We trust in our abilities to just farm it up, scale, play a little bit more passively, turtle, and then once we get to these dragon fights, we have full confidence in our jungler being able to secure every 50-50 and to truly be able to execute the fight through and through.
Yeah, I noticed with the actually in game one, the Poppy steal to take Soul. That was big. Did you like do you know you were gonna win those, or do you just like kind of hope and a prayer?
It's like,
I just walked up and tried to take it.
did the comms immediately erupt as soon as that happened?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We were
thought
all
so.
dancing. We're just like, oh my god! I was just like,
I mean,
wait,
if-
this is the highest win rate soul in the game. We won the game, guys. Let's go. And then we
If-
started losing.
If you go back and watch the VOD later, you'll hear me go ballistic that you literally just walked up and just stole it. Nobody
Yeah.
even tried to stop you.
Yeah, if you watch our games, typically, I would say 50-50s are more like 70-30s. My brother doesn't usually lose smite steals, surprisingly. He'll
It's
lose.
like a friend of mine.
Yeah, so I mean, it's we have a very reliable jungler, and we could always trust on him to pull
And
us
if he-
through to the finish line.
Now,
And if he does anything wrong, you personally can go and smack him upside the head.
Yes, or me personally can just win top lane and not have to worry about what he's doing.
Now, I do want to talk about another big play. I'm not sure if you guys were ecstatic and calm, but I know I was like popping off. I was so just like, it was so crazy just seeing the Poppy's positioning where she actually saves the brand by Eing forward, gets the Blitzcrank hook, and then saving basically the whole team fight. Like, how did comms go for that one? Because I personally was like mesmerized by it.
We didn't notice it until we saw Ayuka's highlight.
Oh, no way!
Looking at something else.
No! Oh, it was so big.
All right, I think that's enough for this interview. We'll get you again next week.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because of course you're going to take down Imagine Shadow. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
wink,
for
wink.
sure. Because they totally didn't do us in the regular season, but we got this.
Everything's gonna be
It was
fine.
a week one match, so you know what? I'm actually looking forward to this
Grudge match? Potential. It should be fun.
for sure.
Yeah, they lost to Orange Forge and Misclicks.
Which are
So
two teams we beat. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, so obviously you're going to win.
Yes, totally.
Potential. I'm excited. With that being said, let's sign off for the night here, Ansem. Any final remarks? Any final sayings from either Alpha or Ansem here?
So thank you everybody for joining in. Once again, look at the announcements channel. We're looking for new tribunal members. But
So-
otherwise, good match tonight, guys.
yes.
Good fight.
Congratulations and
Thank you for not killing my lungs. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I told you, cool, calm, and collected.
Alrighty, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you guys next time.